What is going on, guys? Coming to you live from Manly in Sydney, and I have a story for you guys today. So this is like day 4 or something like that of 2 videos a day for 7 days as self-repentance for accidentally sharing a fake news story which seemed completely plausible at the time. Glamorous Aboriginal activist, 20, admits kneeing a police officer in the testicles after stealing a $7 chicken curry from 7-Eleven, which is like a Quickie Mart convenience store, and calling cops white dogs. The cognitive dissonance indeed. A 20-year-old Aboriginal activist has pleaded guilty to the assault of a police officer and resisted arrest after stealing a curry from 7-Eleven. A $7 curry. Did you really need to steal it? Just a thought. Leilani Clark from Townsville allegedly kneed a police officer in the testicles. Having been caught. Man, where's my coffee? I need to wake up. Having just been caught stealing a chicken curry from a 7-Eleven store in Marrickville in Sydney with 2 male accomplices. Of course they had to throw that in, when really it's irrelevant because she is the one who stole it. The incident is said to have occurred on June 26, just after midnight, with police describing Clark's behaviour as highly erratic and unpredictable. Clark and one of the males, Philip, went into the store while the other male, Max, waited outside, according to court documents obtained by news.com.au. Clark is understood to have put a butter chicken curry meal worth $7 in her bag, as Philip stuffed a big bite hot dog down his jeans. Perhaps that big bite hot dog was exactly what this little thotty was after. Police said that when shopkeeper Ketan Kumar Kush Chowdhury approached the pair, Philip and Max assaulted him before leaving the shop with Clark. So they were white knighting for her, basically. Mr. Chowdhury, still bad behaviour, but still white knighting. Mr. Chowdhury had activated his security alarm and was reviewing his CCTV footage with police less than 10 minutes after the incident when Clark and the 2 males allegedly walked back past the shop. So this is the chick here that we're talking about. No, you know what? You can't even see it. I got freaking screen all over my screen. It's all right. You guys can check out the article in the description below. You'll be able to see all of the pictures there. It was then that police reportedly arrested Phillips and Max for assault and gave Clark a caution for shoplifting. Of course she was the one that got away while the others got charged. According to the court papers, police believed Clark was under the influence of alcohol, and as they searched her for anything she could use to harm herself or others, she began flailing her arms and they handcuffed her. Clark allegedly screamed abuse at the officers numerous times and then coughed up and spit some phlegm in the mouth before spitting forward in the direction of police. As one male police officer attempted to remove a scarf from around her neck, Clark lifted her right knee suddenly into the victim's groin, causing intense pain in his testicles. Clark was then taken to Newtown Police Station and entered into a timeout for intoxication due to her continuing aggressive behavior and highly intoxicated state. She was not offered an interview. Wait, hang on. Just hold the phone, guys. Due to her continuing aggressive behavior. But she's a woman. They can't be aggressive, can they? Can that happen? Because everything I've seen in the mainstream media, in the newspapers, and heard in the education system and at universities say otherwise. So is it just me or am I being lied to, guys? Am I being lied to by these retards at university? Am I being lied to by the mainstream media? Am I being lied to by newspapers? Of course I am. Of course I am. Because only the people who actually seek the truth out for themselves that really know what's going on. Here we go. Now Janet is awake, says they held her accountable. That's great. Well, not quite, Janet. Let's continue. She was given a 12-month bond at Newtown local court yesterday, so she reportedly pleaded guilty to assaulting an officer in the execution of duty and resisting arrest in the execution of duty. So she's admitted that she's guilty to assault. She's admitted that she's guilty to perverting the course of justice. and yet she's still got a 12-month bond, aka pussy pass, where she gets to roam free and do whatever she wants. In June this year, Clark spat, get this, in June this year, Clark spat at another. So this is not the first time this has happened. She spat at another police officer and assaulted a paramedic who had been trying to take her to hospital. She is said to have screamed, "Fuck you, white dogs. I'm smart, not dumb. I got 3 more degrees than you'll ever have." In what? In Aboriginal studies? Like, I'm not, seriously, like, I'm not being racist, but I mean, if she's carrying on like this, it doesn't surprise me she's just come out of university at all, not even remotely. She's clearly a feminist, clearly. And she's obviously got no accountability, which is probably something else she got taught. So I think either gender studies or Aboriginal studies, which would make sense because she basically would already know most of the things about her culture to begin with, including victimhood, which means that she would pass with flying colours, I'd imagine. Daily Mail Australia has contacted Newtown Courthouse for further information. So, guys, what do you think of this video? Because personally, I think this is pretty bullshit that she got away with a 20-month bond. She got away with not having to face any time behind bars. And I can tell you right now, if it was me, Sydney, the straight white male from Sydney, that got caught assaulting a police officer, spitting on him, calling him a white dog, kneeing him in the testicles, you know I'm looking down the barrel of some time. You know I'm not getting away with that shit. You know I'm not gonna get a pass. Because that's not how it works. You only get a pass if you have a vagina. You only get a pass if you're a minority group. You only get a pass if you're a person of color, even if you're not a minority group. And if you're hitting up the trifecta of those 3, you're pretty much fucking invincible. That's all I'm saying. So, you know, I put to you that this is just all gone mad. Everything that's coming out of university. I mean, every single, like the other day, right? Check out my video the other day about that Russian law student at university who poured bleach on men's crotches because they were man-spreading on the train. Now you've got this chick, she's not only stealing and kneeing police officers in the balls and calling them white dogs and getting away with a pussy pass, but she's also got 3 degrees. So what does that tell you about the state of modern education? What does that tell you about the modern victimhood mentality? Because I'm just saying, education comes from understanding what's going on around you. Education comes from teaching yourself about the real world. It doesn't come from university. It doesn't come from feminist teachers in schools. They won't teach you anything that you need to know. Because this chick would have been shot in the US. But yet in Australia, it's like, oh, you poor thing. You're female, you're Aboriginal. So you get off with a pass. I say it's fucking bullshit, to be honest. Because if she's so oppressed, right? If this poor Aboriginal girl, she's so held back, she's so oppressed, right? She's been through so much. How's she been able to go and do 3 university degrees, huh? Riddle me this. Riddle me fucking that. Because I think the whole thing's a crock of shit, if I'm being completely honest with you. And I think that this all needs to change. And I'm loving the fact that women are now starting to get charged more for the crimes they're committing. And it's not like people are being more firm on them. Well, they kind of are, but like guys still get treated worse under the law. So women are now starting to get a little bit of a taste, right? Because there's so many women behaving badly, so many, most of them feminists, so many behaving badly, especially in the younger generation. You know, a combination of being raised by single mothers, right? Who are narcissistic single mothers who haven't let them see their fathers. And then being raised with the mainstream media in Australia all around them. being raised with Snapchat and Facebook and Instagram and all these other platforms that allow them to be inherently crazy narcissistic. Just think about that for a second, because this is the next generation of human beings. This is the next generation of adults coming through teen years, and it's absolutely toxic. Have you ever heard of cause and effect? Cause is where you're totally at cause, right? You own your shit. Effect is where everything else is someone else's fault. I realize, right? Because we've got and regardless of whatever your thoughts are on politics and where you stand, and I respect your choice either way, right? So let's talk about the left and right policy. So the left is basically looking after the people who are the working class, who are sort of, who have really done it tough, who are struggling, maybe people who are disabled and don't have a means of, supporting themselves, so they need social welfare, right? So this is a lot of the similar sort of stuff. And then the right is basically like, we need to look after the greater good. That's the main focus, fuck everything else. And the left of politics and feminism would not exist without a victimhood mentality. They are totally in effect. They are not even remotely in cause, because if they were in cause, they would own their shit. They would work out a way to make things happen. And now, interestingly, we've got Carly Marie. It's been a while since I've seen you, Carly. She says, how does it feel now you know? How does what feel? Right? So you're saying, you said we're just pushing the tempo to show you what we've been dealing with. How does it feel now you know? So Carly, do two wrongs make a right? Because last I heard, two wrongs do not make a right. And you're saying, right, how does it feel, right? You're just pushing the tempo to show you what you've been dealing with. You don't even know what we've been dealing with. Right? Women don't know what men have dealt with through the ages. Right? You think you're so oppressed. If it wasn't for men, we wouldn't have given you the vote, no matter how loud you screamed. Right? If it wasn't for men, you wouldn't have all these laws that favor you over men. We have bent over backwards through the history of time. Since the dawn of time, we've bent over backwards to look after you. We've bent over backwards to be your protectors and your providers. We've bent over backwards to make sure that women have been looked after no matter what, even if it means we die. That's why on the Titanic, women and children are first, even if it means men go down with the ship. The women are always first. We've always put them first. We've never put them last. So for women to come out and say, you have oppressed us, you have held us back, that is complete bullshit, and you know it. There is no way that a black woman, Oprah Winfrey, would have become one of the most successful, well-known, and richest women in America if men were trying to hold her back, because men own the TV stations that she gets her platform from. Right? There is no way that you would have had all of these, all of these female artists, singers, right? They wouldn't have got a platform. I've seen famous women that have achieved incredible things. Amelia Earhart as well. Right? Now, men are not blaming anyone for their mistakes but themselves. Right? Men are not blaming anyone. We're not blaming women for our mistakes. What we are blaming women for is taking advantage of our good nature. That is where we're placing the blame. Right? Because that's where the blame lies. All right, so we've enabled women to vote. We've given them the vote. We've given them equal working rights. We've given them equal pay. And yet none of that's good enough. Right? None of that's good enough. Right? And now, female engineering graduates are earning more straight off the bat than men because vagina. Where are the feminists coming out and saying we want equal pay? That's right, they're not, because they've already got more than equal pay. They've already got more than equal advantage. They've already got the leverage. And I've said this before, the simps and the manginas have given this power to women, and women are completely abusing it. Men have never abused power on the same scale that women are now abusing it. It's absolutely incredible. Right? It's like, I'm just gonna flip around, right? Check this out. Look at this. Look at all these buildings. Do you think there was one concreter, one bricklayer, just one? Look at, I want you to take a good hard look. Look at all of those bricks. I can guarantee you right now that not one of those bricks was laid by a woman. We have got skyscrapers in the city. Right, we're building skyscrapers. We're building massive office blocks. And you know what? After the office blocks are built, then women come in and they say, oh, we need more women in corporate management. We need more women in the boardrooms. Yeah, the boardrooms that men made. Right? You don't get to turn around and play victim after we gave you everything. We gave you no, right? You wanted to be able to divorce with no penalty, you got no fault divorce. You wanted to be able to vote, you got the vote. You wanted equal pay, you got equal pay. You wanted affirmative action, you got affirmative action. You wanted laws that benefited you in domestic violence cases, right? That demonize men and paint women as the victims so they can get the advantage. We gave it to you, we gave you everything. Right? And many women are evil, narcissistic, empty, and fake. And those are the types you need to avoid. Sorry guys, it sounds like the music's just started up. They've got a jazz festival on today. And those are the types of women that you really need to avoid. If there's one thing that you can take away from this, take that away. But then there are lots of women out there who are not like that. But they are in the vast minority these days, sadly. And that is the exact reason why so many men are going their own way. That is the exact reason why so many men are like, fuck it, I'm done. Right? I don't want to wade through the 499 people before I find the 500th person that isn't like that. It's not worth it for me. The return on investment on my time and my energy is simply not there for me. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to give you a little bit of food for thought and, you know, show you the lunacy that's coming out of university and the hypocrisy and the racism. Right? Can you, let's just put this into perspective for a moment, because I've just read you that article, right? So if you were to go and say, imagine if I, right, as a guy, went into a convenience store. Imagine if I went into a convenience store and I stole food. They called the police. Then I need a female police officer in the vagina, and I spat on her, and I called her a black dog if she was Aboriginal. Imagine that. Imagine the uproar. Imagine me splashed all over the front page of every single newspaper on the southern and probably also the northern hemisphere. That's exactly what would happen. And this is what feminism has allowed. Because feminism has infiltrated the legal system. It has infiltrated government. It has infiltrated the media. It has infiltrated all of social policy and planning. And we now basically have a system where men are held ultimately accountable for the actions of women, and women are not held accountable for the actions of women. And men are held accountable for the actions of men. And then they turn around and they cry and complain, oh, women are getting charged more, women are getting punished more. You know, this is a biased, you know, unfair, gendered justice system. No, it's not any of that. It's a justice system. And the point of a justice system is to hold people accountable. It's to punish people. It's to get justice for the victims of the crimes. And if the perpetrators of the crimes are becoming overwhelmingly female compared to before, which they are, by the way, because men are held accountable and women aren't at the same level, then that's what's going to happen. Don't just turn around and cry. And I saw an article the other day, and I'm going to do a video on this, so don't go looking for it, guys. Don't go looking for this article, please, because I want to do a video on this. I want to share it with you because I've got the article and the rebuttal on how women are struggling with 50-50 parenting, and how 50-50 parenting is so hard and so difficult for them, and they miss all their toddlers' little moments. They miss that moment where they mastered telling that joke they've been trying to tell for ages. But zero regard for the dads, because that's how gynocentric our society's become. Anyway, guys, the jazz has started to come on now, starting to get a bit noisy, so I'm gonna leave it here. But guys, please share this video to other people who will appreciate how insane the world is becoming. Please hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already. I promise I won't have jazz in the background at every single one of my videos, and I do most of them in the car, and they are usually quite funny. So I'm actually looking forward to doing my one this afternoon. I got a good topic for you guys. I appreciate you all. Smash that thumbs up if you haven't already. I've only got about a third of you that have smashed the thumbs up so far. So please smash that thumbs up. Please share this video. Hit subscribe and the bell next to it if you haven't already. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.